And good morning to all of you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome all of you to today's Let the Citizen Know encounter. It is refreshing to be here, and we thank the good Lord for his faithfulness. We could never have come this far without him, and for that we remain eternally grateful to him. We continue to rest and lean upon him and count upon him in the days ahead to grant us good success. In Jesus' name. Amen. To you, our distinguished citizens, we thank you for believing in us and for walking this journey with us. Your feedback has been constructive and has helped strengthen our work and processes. To our media partners, we thank you for your consistency. You have been our gateway to the good people of Ghana. We could not have engaged with the citizenry of Ghana without your support and collaboration. And for that we say thank you. The purpose of today's Let the Citizen Know is to brief you on the final voters register ahead of the 2020 election. We assured you that we would provide you with updates on a number of issues that were raised regarding the register so as to put those issues to rest once and for all. In fulfillment of that promise, we are here this morning to put to rest concerns and questions raised regarding the register ahead of the elections next week. Indeed, it's exactly 1 week from today. This morning, my presentation will focus on the following issues: the total number of persons on the final voters register, the number of persons who registered, but whose biometric and biographic details are not on the register, the number of persons on the multiples list, the number of persons on the exceptions list, the new application for checking details of registrants, and the special voting that takes place tomorrow, the 1st of December 2020. Total number of persons on the final voters register. I'm pleased to inform you that the final voters register has a total of 17,027,641 registrants who are eligible to vote come the 7th of December 2020. Of the total number of registered voters, females constitute 8,810,283, representing 51.74% of the total register, whilst males amount to 8,217,358, representing 48.26% of the total register. Greater Accra has the highest number of female and male registrants, and the region with the lowest number of female and male registrants is Northeast region. We will make available the details to you at the end of this session. Below is the total number of registered voters per region in the final voters register. Western region has 1,187,333. Central region has a total of 1,567,756. Greater Accra region has a total of 3,528,996. Volta region has a total of 924,116. Eastern region has a total of 1,641,050 persons. Ashanti region has a total of 3,019,178 persons. Western North has a total of 468,683. Ahafo region has a total of 316,970. Bodo region has a total of 653,378. Bodo East region has a total of 594,610. Oti region has a total of 358,000 552. Northern region has a total of 1,050,016 persons. Savannah region has a total of 298,404 persons. Upper West region has a total of 469,753. Upper East region has a total of 289,529. Sorry. Northeast region has a total of 289,529. Upper East region has a total of 659,317. This adds up to the total of 17 million. I will now address the issue of persons whose names were placed on the multiples and exceptions list. For the information of the general public, this information has been provided to all political parties. It was provided together with the main register, as well as the special voting lists, the transfer lists, amongst others. It was provided to them on Saturday, the 7th of November, 2020. Now to the multiples list. The total number of multiple registrations on the multiples list today stands at 15,860. We have seen a decrease in the number because some of these persons proceeded to court and had their objections overturned by the court. By its name, this list refers to the number of multiple registrations done by unique individuals. It does not refer to unique individuals. As such, if a person registers 5 times, all 5 registrations will be recorded on the list, although the 5 registrations were undertaken by one person. The total number of unique individuals who conducted the multiple registrations is, however, 7,890. So we have 7,890 persons who conducted the multiple registrations amounting to 15,860,000. It is instructive to note that the multiples list is not generated by staff of the commission. This list is generated by the software when it detects multiple registrations by a unique individual when the same set of fingerprints appear for persons bearing different names. The system picks this up and isolates the registrants. This is not done by the commission staff. In short, when the system picks up the same fingerprints registering for persons using different names, the system has the ability to isolate this and put them on a list. It isolates these fingerprints and puts them on the list because it detects that the same fingerprints has registered for more than one person. And it's important to note that the system, this list is not generated by the staff of the commission. I emphasize this to allay the fears or perception of the commission deliberately removing names of registrants from the register. When a person with a unique set of fingerprints registered multiple times, this is flagged and picked up by the system, and the names and details are isolated on the multiples list. Again, there has been the perception that the EC is deliberately removing persons from the register and placing them on the exceptions list. This is false. The exceptions list refers to unique individuals who conducted various forms of electoral malpractices, including underage voting, voting by foreigners, underage registration, registration by foreigners, and registration by persons who are not ordinarily residents in the area or community where they wish to register. To date, we have a total number of 13,997 persons on the exceptions list. It is important to note that the list was developed as a result of the citizens at the grassroots level challenging and objecting to registrations of certain persons. During the registration exercise, a number of persons had their registrations challenged. As a result, they were not provided with their voter ID cards. Additionally, during the exhibition exercise, a number of persons had their registrations objected to for some of the same reasons mentioned above. It is important to note that those challenged at registration had the opportunity to appeal against their challenge by providing proof of eligibility to be registered to the District Registration Review Committee set up by the Electoral Commission to hear these cases. The District Registration Review Committee is made up of representatives of the political parties, the traditional authority in the district, the head of the Ghana Education Service, and the head of the police in that district. They make up this District Registration Review Committee, and also the leadership of the political parties in the districts. It's important to note that some of the challenged persons had their challenges overturned, and these persons were then provided with their card and included on the voters' register. Simply put, during registration, citizens have the right to object to or challenge a person's registration for reasons being some of the following: that the person is below the age of 18, that the person is a foreigner, or that the person is not ordinarily resident in the location where they want to register, or that the person is not of sound mind. The Commission has set up a structure to allow for some fairness and to ensure that the cases or the challenges are legitimate. And this is the District Registration Review Committee, which is made up of the political party reps, the head of the police at the district, the head of the Ghana Education Service, and the traditional authority. They sit and hear these cases, and such persons provide proof of eligibility to be registered. If it is found that they are eligible to be registered, the Commission is given that order, and the registration is done at that level, and they are given their cards. It is important to note that also during the time of exhibition, although a person may have received his card, during exhibition, the law allows citizens to object to a person's registration for the same reasons. However, at that level, there's a committee, an officer of the court, a magistrate that is set up, the District Registration Review Officer. And such persons may prove their eligibility by providing relevant information. And if they are found to be eligible to be registered, they are allowed to be registered, and their cards are given to them. So these are processes that the Commission has put in place to ensure fairness and transparency, and to ensure that persons are not marginalized for a person's own selfish interests. It is important to note, and therefore if you appear before them and you prove your eligibility at registration, you are put on the register. At exhibition as well, you are also maintained on the register, and your card is given to you. It is important to note that a number of these persons whose appeals were not granted by the District Registration Review Committee and by the District Registration Review Officer sought redress at the High Court. A good number of the appeals at the High Court were granted, and these persons have been included in the voters' register as we speak. Two of such cases occurred in Zabzubu in the northern region, and in Efutu in Winneba in the central region. In the case of Zabzubu, some 443 persons have been included in the register following the granting of their appeal by the High Court. Their voters' ID cards have since been issued to them, and they are currently on the register. Again, in Efutu Winneba, some 52 persons appealed against the objection to their inclusion in the register. The High Court overturned these objections, and they have been included in the voters' register by the Commission. Their cards have also been given to them. It is important to emphasize that in the past, the multiples lists and the exceptions lists were not published by the Commission. In fact, the law does not enjoin the Electoral Commission to publish these lists. However, in the spirit of transparency, the Commission has published both lists on its website. So if you visit the website, You will see both the exceptions list and the multiples list there. Again, both lists add up to a total of 21,887 unique individuals. And these are persons who have been put on this list and will not be granted the opportunity to vote on the 7th of December. For the information of the general public, the multiples and exception lists prior to the 2016 election amounted to some 800,000 persons. So in effect, 800,000 persons were barred from voting in the 2016 elections. Today, by virtue of the new registration that enjoins every eligible Ghanaian to register, these persons have had the opportunity to register. And I do not believe that they will commit the crimes again. I do not believe that any of them, or I hope that none of them are part of this 21,887 persons who have appeared on this list. Now I'll speak about the gap in the 2020 voters register. And by the gap, I'm referring to the number of persons who registered during the just ended registration exercise, but whose names are not in the final register. In total, we have some 542 persons on this list. As you recall, this gap at the time of, so currently we have 542 persons on this list. And how we arrived at this is that following the exhibition exercise, the commission took a thorough review and analysis. The question is, how did we do this? How did we arrive at this list of 542 persons? And we did this because following the exhibition exercise, the commission took a thorough review and analysis of the register and took steps to reconcile the number of persons who actually registered with the number of persons on the voters register. We relied on the end-of-day reports generated by the biometric voter registration kits and compared the actual number of registrants on the end-of-day reports to the final provisional voters register at the time. At the end of the day, it was revealed that 542 persons had been registered but were not captured in the register. You will see the breakdown on our website, so I think there's no need to go into it. In our determination to ensure that every eligible person who registered is given the opportunity to exercise his or her franchise on the election day, the names of these persons have been published on our website and at the district offices throughout the country. It is important to note that they will be provided with the opportunity to vote, and they will be manually verified. The commission will send their details from the missing names list and their Form 1A and the Form 1Cs to the polling stations where they registered, and they will be granted the opportunity to vote should they appear on voting day. So this list these persons have been put on a list we call the missing names list. And their Form 1As and Form 1Cs are being sent to the polling station where they registered. Should they appear on the election day, they will be granted the opportunity to vote. They will do so manually through the manual verification process, and they will fill a form to go through this. It is also important to note that following the data freeze, which allowed for the generation of the registers and allowed for the preparation of the biometric verification devices, the commission received some court decisions reversing the decisions of the district registration review officer. In total, some 55 persons on the multiples list had their objections overturned. What this means is that the commission is enjoined to grant them the opportunity to vote. However, since the data was frozen at the time the court's decisions were received, they cannot be included on the database for now. What we are doing is to add them to the missing names list to enable them vote, and the number 55 and we have the court proceedings to justify their inclusion in the list. Additionally, some 233 persons were placed in wrong polling stations. These persons have also been added to the missing names list at the polling stations where they originally registered. They will also be provided with the opportunity to vote, and all of them will be verified manually using the manual verification forms. In total, the list of persons on the missing names list stands at 830 persons across 38,622 polling stations. So the list of persons on the missing names list stand at 830 persons across 38,622 polling stations. The commission was determined to ensure that anybody who took the trouble to register was granted the opportunity to vote, and therefore we did not take these things lightly. It was a decision that we made because, as we mentioned, the court decisions came after the data freeze, but we felt that no, although they cannot be put on the database, we should not deny them that opportunity. Again, there were 233 persons who were placed in wrong polling stations. Efforts were made to retrieve them all and put them on the missing names list in the polling stations where they registered, to ensure that if they appear on voting day, they will be able to be verified manually through the manual verification forms and granted the opportunity to vote. I think this is the determination of the commission to ensure that nobody loses their right to vote. And the test and the good news is that their details are available. They are on the end of day reports. So this is not open to anybody who just appears. Your names are on the end of day reports. Your Form 1A and your Form 1Cs are sent to that particular location. And your name, specific name and details are on the missing names list. This list has been published on the Commission's website. Final voters register on the website. For the information of the general public, the final voters register has been posted on our website. The register does not contain the biometric details of registrants. It contains their ID card numbers and ages. And it also contains the names of their polling stations and their details. The Commission replaced the register originally posted with the current register online in order to make it more functional and user-friendly. As you all know, the Electoral Commission is enjoined by law to publish the certified copy of the final voters register in a manner determined by the Commission. As such, the Commission has elected to make the register available in 2 electronic formats to allow registered voters seamlessly check their details ahead of the elections. The final voters register is available through the Commission's website, registers.ec.gov.gh. On the Commission's website, the register has been published in 2 searchable databases, one for the special voting and one for the main voting on the 7th of December. Voters registered for special voting on the 1st of December are advised to use the special register option. Every other voter should use the main register option. To access a person's details, the registrant is required to enter their 10-digit voter ID card number on the website application to confirm their details ahead of the December 2020 election. The second option available for checking a person's details is by using the USSD code *711*2020. *711*2020. The Commission has provided a USD code for registered voters to check their details on all networks. To access their details, registered voters need to dial *711*2020 *711 2020 hash, star 711 star 2020 hash. I'm sorry about that. On any phone and network, enter their voter ID card number and their polling station code where they registered. So the Commission has provided a USSD code for registered voters to check their details on all networks. To access their details, registered voters need to dial star 700 star 2020 hash on any phone or network, enter their voter ID card number and polling station code where they registered. Please note that the polling station code as well as the ID card number is on the voter's card, and so you can obtain it from there. A voter will get the response on their phone, which will contain the full name of the voter, their voter ID card and date of birth, their polling station code, and their polling station name. The good news is that this service is free. The publication of the final voters register in these two electronic formats will enable voters ascertain their details to enable them go through a seamless voting process on election day. We entreat persons who have issues with their registrations to contact their nearest district office across the country for immediate remedy. I come to the issue of special voting. As you may be aware, the Electoral Commission reached out to the security agencies and media houses to inform them about the special voting facility. The letter requested them to send details of their members who wished to take part in the special voting exercise to the Commission. We are pleased to note that the special voting list has been compiled and it has been published on the Commission's website. Additionally, as just mentioned, the Commission has made it possible for persons on the special voting list to check their details using the two formats outlined above. We encourage all who applied to take time to check their details before Tuesday, 1st December 2020. This year, the Commission provided the special voting list to representatives of institutions who applied to vote during the special voting tomorrow, the 1st of December. The final special voting list contains 109,557 persons from the various security agencies, media houses, and the Electoral Commission staff. It is instructive to note that this is the highest number the Commission has recorded for special voting in its history. It is also important to mention that the Commission received a number of applications well after the deadline. While some were considered, others came a little too late when the database had gone through the data freeze. Once the database went through that process, no changes or transfers could be made. And all lists received after the data freeze could, however, not be processed. It is important to note and to encourage the public to disregard the information going on social media that the Commission has prevented security agencies from registering. This is not true. Every officer who applied on time and provided the correct voter ID card details was duly registered. Unfortunately, we had an issue with our media partners. I'm sure some of you are aware of this. And as there were some discrepancies between the lists submitted by the Ghana Journalists Association. The soft copy of the list submitted to us was different from the hard copy. We were under the impression that they contained the same persons. It was only after the data freeze and the publishing of the special voters list that it was revealed that the hard copy had more persons on there than the soft copy. The Commission had relied on the soft copy because that means that we did not have to key in individually every name on the hard copy. And so regrettably, some persons, journalists, had their names missing from the list. We regret this, but as I noted, it was some miscommunication and we were given the impression that the soft copy and the hard copy were the same. I think we've noted that in the spirit of reconciliation and goodwill, the Commission has instructed its officers to allow media persons who have the EC accreditation cards from the EC to be processed quickly come voting day to enable them to go about their monitoring details. For the information of the public, the special voting exercise will take place at selected locations in all 275 constituencies on the 1st of December 2020. We entreat all who applied to verify their details and locations on the Commission's website. As you may be aware, the Commission published the locations for the special voting in the newspapers, I think Graphic Times, Business and Financial Times, and the Daily Guide on Monday, the 23rd of November, 2020. Distinguished citizens, all is set for the special voting tomorrow, Tuesday, the 1st of December. To date, our officers have been recruited and trained, and we stand in readiness to deliver a smooth and seamless and peaceful and orderly process. All materials necessary have been distributed in sufficient quantities, and this includes the COVID materials. The COVID-19 protocols will be put in place. Stringent COVID-19 protocols will be put in place and observed. The biometric verification devices have been prepared and deployed. As a Commission, we expect a near 100% turnout, and we are confident that the outcomes will be peaceful, credible, orderly, seamless, and transparent, God being our helper. As the good book states, a horse is prepared for battle, but victory comes from God. As a Commission, we have, as a collective, starting from Commission to directors, deputies, regional directors and deputies, district electoral officers, and our temporary officers, have put in place all measures, including our laborers and all our staff have put in place everything it takes for a peaceful and orderly and transparent and seamless and successful encounter in an election. But we believe that although we are prepared for battle, the victory comes from God, and because He's been our help from ages past and remains our help to today, we're expecting that the outcomes will be peaceful and credible and fair and transparent and orderly and seamless, God being our helper, in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. We thank you for taking time to be here with us this morning. We believe that we'll come to you midweek to brief you on the outcomes. We intend to engage with you throughout this week, and we believe that we'll come back midweek to brief you on the outcomes of the special voting exercise and keep you informed. So we come to the end of today's encounter. As my friends in the media usually say, until we come your way again, it's been me, Jim Mensah, reporting from the Electoral Commission headquarters of Accra.
Thanks for watching.
May God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. Let peace reign. Thank you.